Coming up right now, find out which Arizona city will allow workers to actually sleep in their cars as it now faces a major spike in housing costs.
Also coming up, a New York man vows to regain his 750-pound, 11-foot pet gator that was removed from his home.
A little bit later on, Disney cuts ties with Will Smith and cancels his sequel to a billion-dollar franchise.
Oh boy, Daily Flash starts right now.
Get ready for trending news and entertainment. This is Daily Flash with your hosts, Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. The fun starts right now. This is Daily Flash.
Hi everyone, I'm Andrea Jackson.
I'm Mitch English. This is Daily Flash. So glad to have you along here. We got a whole hour packed with all the trending news and information that you need. We'll also be checking in, of course, with old Matt Doolittle. He's getting ready for his honeymoon soon, right?
Yeah.
Is the honeymoon around the corner anytime? Or?
It's getting there. It's in May. I love my wife.
Sure. I would hope so.
We are coordinating flights to get to Greece for our Virgin Voyages cruise.
Well, Greece is the word.
Ooh, Virgin, the adult cruise.
We have to go from here to there to there to there to there to
yeah.
there.
Oh yeah. It's never easy.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
But it's cheaper sometimes.
Yeah.
It's cheaper to keep her, but it's a whole thing.
So keep that in mind. I think that's a good thing. Cheaper to keep her.
Coordinated the wedding. Now we're coordinating the honeymoon. Oh yeah. It's like I just wanted to not coordinate.
Here's the question: which was easier?
I mean, I guess this is going to be, but there's no drink package on Virgin Voyages, so I don't even have that. Yeah, you got to pay
pre-so.
And I can't smuggle it on because it's overseas.
No kids. Right there, I'll pay the money. No kids. I mean, you're going on a cruise, right?
Kids are going to be expensive.
They're very expensive.
Pay the extra dough.
After the cruise.
So we've talked a little bit about Taylor Swift, the Eras Tour. Her video just got released on Disney Plus. Matt mentioned it the other day. The numbers have been insane. They've had huge numbers watching it. They also released a report about what they're calling Swift quakes, like earthquakes.
Oh, really?
So whenever she does a concert, let's say in Los Angeles, they are able to note a certain kind of seismic activity from the crowd.
Oh, they had this in South America. They had this in South America.
Yes.
Yes.
So it's an actual thing. Now, it's not enough power to cause a quake, but it's causing seismic activity that's been recorded.
That many people congregated together, probably all dancing loud, and then the music coupled with it. Wow.
Exactly.
So if you're in a city where Taylor is, it's not an earthquake. It's a Taylor quake.
A Swift quake.
Swift quake. Yeah, there you go.
They've mentioned 4 particular cities. Los Angeles was one of them. Yeah.
Right.
So there you go.
We move a little further east to Arizona, and there's a city there that has approved a program that's going to allow homeless workers to sleep in their cars. And the decision is actually causing some outrage from local homeowners. The Sedona City Council approved the Safe Place to Park program, and it includes 40 designated parking spots for those employed full-time, all within the city limits. It also includes on-site bathrooms and showers. Critics say that this new program will actually lead to pollution, drug use, other illegal activities, which will also have a negative impact on the parks and surrounding areas. City officials say that the program is only temporary and will conclude in 2016 when the funding will run out. The program comes as the city has searched for a solution to deal with skyrocketing home prices. Supporters say that this move will actually help those who would otherwise be forced to, well, sleep in their cars. Affordable housing projects are also in the works, and I'm sure that's what critics are saying about this, is that, well, let's work on actually where they can stay in their homes. However, what about people that maybe first off, you have to be full-time employee.
For the city,
for the city to be able to do this. So as far as drug use goes and that sort of thing, it seems like if you're taking drugs, you're probably not waking up to go to work. You know what I'm saying? If it's that bad. But, and again, they're saying this is temporary. And there are some people that are happy. They have vans. They have van life. Yeah. And there's also, because my wife has a Prius, there's a whole, people live in their Priuses too.
Are you serious?
Because they're they're hybrids. And you can keep the air conditioner on all night because it runs off your battery. And then you just drive some.
Buc-ee's. There's a whole TikTok language
like
and
Reddit
stuff,
kinda,
videos and everything.
Oh my gosh.
And if you have a gym membership, yeah, like I said, or Buc-ee's, or you
Yeah, I
can
could get that.
take a shower that way. You know, it's sad that it's come down to this. I think where the bigger problem is how much rent is cost. You know, obviously it's very expensive to live.
That's the bigger conversation. I mean, they mention affordable housing and they say it's temporary, but you know, anytime they put in a temporary program, it always ends up becoming permanent some way, somehow. But the bigger conversation is affordable housing. I think we talked about one of the Steamboat Springs in Colorado. It's become so popular with influencers and out-of-towners that now it's impossible for regular workers to afford to live there, to work there, because everybody's bought everything out. And now the average price of a home there in a small ski town is nearly $2 million.
And good luck. And then, but what people forget is there are people that have to work at the convenience stores that are not going to be able to afford houses like that.
Exactly. And this is Sedona, Arizona, which is a popular, you know, high-end resort town in Arizona.
So keep that in mind. You know, I mean, I think, would you be just as surprised if people said this happened in Beverly Hills?
Well, there was a story
because
here,
Beverly Hills is very expensive.
There was a story here in Orlando a few years ago when Disney didn't have, you know, their wages up at a certain point.
Yes.
Where there was a woman who had to sleep halfway between Lakeland and her house because she couldn't get paid in time to pay the gas to get home all the way to her place. So she was living halfway, you know, in her car till she got paid by Disney. And I mean, it's a thing, but if it's regulated and they're watching over it, I mean, I'm all for that. I'd rather they did that.
We'll see how it all turns out.
I'll watch this.
Well, a man's 11-foot, 750-pound alligator was recently removed by wildlife officials from his home in upstate New York. Now he's vowing to regain custody of his beloved pet. Tony Cavallaro built an in-ground swimming pool for Albert to swim and cool off at his leisure.
Albert.
Law enforcement cited him for illegally keeping a gator in his backyard without a permit. Albert is about 30 years old. They say he's blind in both eyes. However, Tony disagrees with that, and he has some spinal issues. Officials say Cavallaro is accused of letting friends and neighbors into the pool to pet the gator.
Is that a putting green?
He previously had a permit but didn't renew it after it expired in 2021. And according to him, he says he tried to renew the permit, but they wouldn't allow him to renew it. So I think there's more to this story.
I think so too.
I mean, you know, he's provided a home for this gator for a number of years. You know, it's questionable to let friends and family into the tank. He says he's harmless, but he is a wild animal.
And he bites somebody, and then they wind up, oh, well, we have to put him down because he's a gator.
Yeah.
And you know, he does those sort of things. You know, he's ready since he was a baby. This is another problem. People, they get the cute pets and they realize they get bigger. This is like alligator, though, folks. I mean, and imagine how much it costs to just feed that thing, too.
Outside of Buffalo, New York is where that alligator is living.
That's indigenous to the area, right? My
Of course
understanding?
it is, yeah. Yeah, well, I wonder if he's a Buffalo's fan. Buffalo Bills fan.
We'll see.
Despite the financial success of the live-action adaptation of Aladdin, it appears that Disney has decided to go in a different direction with a sequel. The movie grossed more than $1 billion worldwide and starred Will Smith in the role of the genie. Initially, it seemed that a sequel would follow. However, it now appears that Disney has chosen to distance itself from Smith and the project altogether. The fallout from Will's violent outburst at the Oscars, where he assaulted comedian Chris Rock, seems to be the deciding factor. Matt, thank you for the sound effect there. Smith's last big role was in King Richard, where he starred as the father of tennis legends Venus and Serena Williams. Smith will attempt a box office comeback later this year with Bad Boys 4 alongside Martin Lawrence.
And yeah, I think he'll be back in everybody's good graces after a while. I mean, I do, because I also think of House of Cards.
Yes.
He's now actually getting gigs again.
Spacey?
Kevin Spacey.
Thank you. But he's getting gigs. I mean, I think people forget about those sort of things after a while, and I think.
True.
I mean, it's all about spinning, and he's not. I'm sure he's concerned about it, but I'm not sure if Will Smith is all that worried. He's got plenty of money to sustain himself until the next project.
You could kind of say that about Michael Jackson, too. With everything that happened with Michael Jackson, people still love his music. They still listen to it. I mean, we all do, but there's an undertone of like, what really did happen there?
Yeah, it's a judge the art versus judge the artist type of thing, where it's like, I love Men in Black, but also I didn't like you slapping Chris Rock.
Yeah.
So, and also I hated that Aladdin movie. So.
No, I don't think it did. I didn't realize it made that much money. I know it got kind of panned. I remember his performance wasn't all that.
I think it made more money overseas.
That's probably what it was.
Yeah, and in China than it did domestically.
We'll see on that.
Yeah.
You know, what about you? Do you think that Will should be able to come back and be able to do it, or would you want Will Smith to be able to be in the Aladdin? Where are you at?
I mean, what does Disney have to do with that, where they look at somebody like that and go, do we keep pushing this guy that they've had under contract for a little bit, or is it like, we're just going to cut ties because of the slap? Like, is the slap over?
Well, I think that when you look at Disney, which is supposed to be a family-friendly company,
right,
for somebody to assault someone on stage like that is a bad mark, and for them to hire him suggests that they condone that behavior.
And then put him on a tall doll and sell him at Hollywood Studios.
I still think it's the wound hasn't really scabbed up yet, or healed up yet as well. Anyway, we'd love to hear what you have to think about this. Drop us an email, Flash@dailyflashshow.com or Mitch@dailyflashshow.com. I'll take your email. We'll even share it on air. Matter of fact, we'll even come back right after this. Don't go anywhere.
It is Women's History Month, and we are celebrating all things women. And women are quickly becoming the face of wealth in the U.S. Ladies are excelling at finances, from investing to managing debt, and there are so many new ways women can secure their financial future. Joining us to talk about it is Adrienne Hughes. She's the National Client Experience Executive for Merrill Lynch Wealth Management. Adrienne, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So what are women doing well in terms of taking control of their finances?
Well, women have seen a tremendous amount of wealth generation over the past decade. And that's actually true for our larger society, right? The number of affluent families are growing. But when we think about that wealth engine, I usually think about women as the turbo boosters on the back of all that growth. So not only are they growing at a faster clip, but we also see that they're more likely to have retirement accounts set up. They're likely to have financial plans, work with a financial advisor, and most importantly, they are twice as likely to help set up the next generation for financial success. So that's that compounding impact, where it's good that their wealth is growing for now and for our overall economy, but also for those future generations.
I like that. We have compounding interest and we have compounding impact. That's terrific. Where are women still struggling when it comes to finances?
So that is a great question, Andrea. The concerns for women are largely the same as they are for men and anyone, really. It's, do I have enough for my retirement? Can I cover the costs of healthcare? Will I outlive my assets? But I think where women are distinctly, and I wouldn't say struggling, but distinctly challenged, is when you think about the fact that women outlive men, and that there is a wealth gap, is how we call it, right? So the wealth gap is the pay gap, which we all know about, but also the fact that for women specifically, they experience more disruption in their careers than do men, whether it's for childcare or caring for a family member or other things. They not only have the pay gap, but also what we call the wealth gap from those disruptions. We estimate that wealth gap to be about $1 million over the course of a career.
Wow.
And for women of color, and especially in the BAA, the Black African American and the Hispanic Latino communities, it's only compounded in those communities as well for women.
You mentioned a few of the obstacles. What are some other obstacles that women face when it comes to those finances?
Well, I think, the other thing, we have a study here at Merrill Lynch, and it's around, we call it diverse viewpoints, right? So really the viewpoint of wealth, having those conversations, sometimes even having the courage to get up and say, look, I want to take control of this, and taking those first steps, right? For many women, we find that they don't want or are not comfortable with finding or discussing their finances as their male counterparts, but we've set up a lot of things to be able to make that comfort and make those conversations better for them. So for example, at Merrill, we have this month our hashtag Women Invested series, which are a series of conversations and videos and meetup groups where women can actually get together and focus on the issues that pertain to just them. We also here at Bank of America have what we call our Better Money Habits series, right? And some of those things are focused on women, but people from all aspects of life. And these are our employees actually volunteering their time to make sure that we're making those connections with women, those connections that may not be made as frequently, but are just as important in that community.
Adrienne, some terrific information. Thank you so much for joining us. For more information on financial literacy and what you can do to get your money right, head over to dailyflashshow.com and we'll have this interview on our website.
Happy Women's History Month.
Thank you, sir.
My mother was a woman.
Well,
So I have a very tender
You're a deep connection.
I have a deep connection with women. Thanks so much. Speaking of women, check out this woman in Tennessee said that she ordered clothing online and was horrified when she found a mysterious vial of blood that was inside of her package. Her name is Anna Elliott. She posted a video explaining the bizarre ordeal. She claimed that her package, which was only supposed to contain the dress that she ordered, also had a dented can of beans inside of it.
Oh my goodness.
Elliott reached out to the blood testing company to report what she had found, and she also contacted CDC, which she claimed filing a report and investigating the incident as a major biohazard.
Yeah.
Elliott said that she got a call from a higher up at the clothing company and told her that they looked through all of their factory footage to no avail. Something similar actually happened to our VP of production here at Daily Flash. He ordered a pair of shoes, and when he got it, there was a knife inside of the box. And so he goes, I don't get it. This is like a shoehorn or what is it? And they go, it's a knife. You can keep it. And I don't know, Hugo, do you still have that knife today? Or do you even use a knife that came along with a pair of shoes?
What, is it like a free steak knife that came
It just came, no, it had nothing to do. He opened the box up. There's his shoes and then a knife. And like, you know, it was like the knife killer coming after him, whatever. I would, to me personally, I would be freaked out.
Yes.
I'm like, all right, what's going on? I would be 3 times freaked out if I opened up, I found a can of beans and
a vial of blood. Yeah.
And how would the two get into the same box? I guess that's what they're trying to figure out.
Here's the thing, like, whose vial of blood is that, and what were they getting tested for?
Right.
Will they know the results?
That's why you can't bring personal items to work every day. You kind of wonder about that.
And baked beans.
And baked beans. What the two have together, I would want to know. I would love that. No wonder the folks at the Amazon have to have those.
So stressed out.
They're getting stressed out, and they have to go to those rooms and meditate. Ever received anything crazy like that? We'd love to share your experience. You can drop us an email at flash@dailyflashshow.com, and of course we're all over social media. Just look for Daily Flash, and of course you can leave us a comment there. We'll share it with America and the world, actually, right here on the show.
We are international.
We are international.
And you never know, one day we could be ISS international.
One day, if they pick us up, wouldn't that be we'd be great.
We'll be in space.
But then the aliens, they go, what the heck is going on this planet?
Hey, welcome to Furry Friends this week. I'm Matt Doolittle. And first off, you dog lovers know how sneaky your dogs can be. But what if they were secretly spies? Yes, that pup named Elvis thought he could be sneaky with that carrot. And you know what? It's not just dogs. I had my own personal sneaky little friend. Bizkit the Kiki thinks he likes pretzels. Check this out.
They're pretzels, dude. You don't eat pretzels. You don't eat pretzels. No, you don't. You do not eat pretzels. Bloody Nora. Okay, now you're just... It's not your catnip.
Every day with our furry friends is always a fantastic adventure, and we all know that. Andrea?
Matt, Mitch just told me to give you some grief for your cat having its own TikTok page.
He does. He does.
All right, Maddie, thank you. Daylight saving time can sure do a number on us, not to mention feeling like we've lost an hour in the day. Here's lifestyle editor Joanne Butler to help us out.
Oh, hi. Thanks for having me. This time of year, schedules are just more jam-packed than ever. Everything's frenetic, and you just, can't seem to find the time no matter what you do. And when that happens, often we are scrambling for lunch or miss it altogether, which is just not good. So something I am loving, actually, my whole office loves it, the new Knorr rice and pasta cups. Look at these. These are quick, easy to make, super delicious lunch meals, just so good. Plus, they're microwave ready in just 2.5 minutes or less. So talk about maximizing time in your day. No excuse not to have lunch with these. And they're made with 100% U.S. grown rice. They have 6 to 7 grams of protein per serving. They come in 4 delicious flavors, 3 cheese mushroom risotto, garden tomato risotto, fajita rice, and chicken flavored fried rice. And they're great on their own, but you can also take them up a notch and just add some toppings like cheese, veggies, avocado, salsa. And now also look out for the pasta cups. They'll start rolling out in April. And they have 8 to 9 grams of protein per serving. And they come in teriyaki noodles, spicy Korean style barbecue, and pad thai. 3 yummy flavors. I can't wait to try them. And also, I should tell you, these are all 100% real vegetables. Great for lunch, like I said, but of course, great easy dinner too. Even better, they're just $2.99 at Walmart or grocery store. So definitely check this out, Knorr. Now, next up are beauty routines. You want to find products that are multi-purpose and get as much done as possible for you, especially after the harsh winter has done a number on your hair. So enter the drugstore brand OGX. Now, this is their extra strength renewing plus argan oil of Morocco penetrated oil. Just ideal if you have really dry or textured hair. It's made with an extra hydrating blend of water-based silk proteins and cold-pressed Moroccan argan oil. It just makes hair instantly smoother and shinier with each drop, and really seals in the nutrients and just helps improve hair elasticity. You just put a few drops in your favorite conditioner for an extra shine, or just take it right out of the bottle, put it on the ends to add some luster and tame frizz. And you can use it every day too. Get it right at Target for $7.99. And next up, got to tell you about Maui Moisture. Now, this brand knows it's all about a healthy scalp, and they've just launched a whole line dedicated to it called Scalp Care. It's a clarifying shampoo, a conditioner, and a serum for curly and wavy hair, loaded with 100% aloe vera as a first ingredient and a super hydrating base. Plus, it has apple cider vinegar, rosemary oil, packed with vitamins E and B. Smells amazing, by the way. And you can use them in combo to get rid of buildup and leave your hair refreshed and restored. Prevents up to 90% less curl breakage on your brush, which, if you have curly or wavy hair, you can appreciate. Makes it 50 times softer if you use it every day. And then the serum, this is the magic here. You just massage that right into your scalp, root to end before you style. Curls just love this. It makes them 2 times stronger. Prevents dryness, controls frizz for 48 hours. This collection is just a steal. Again, right at Target here, $10.25 each. Now, other general things you can do, try to get to bed an hour earlier and catch up. It really does help. Also, plan ahead. Write down an agenda of things you need to get done for the next day. Also, do as much as you can the night before, like lay your clothes out so you don't wake up and think, oh, what am I going to wear today? Set the coffee pot so it's ready to go when you wake up. And best tip I can give you, don't be afraid to say no to friends and family. If they ask you to do something on the weekend, you just really don't feel like it, don't be afraid to say no. Take time for yourself. There you have it. Some tips to maximize more time in your day and do things for yourself.
This is Daily Flash with your hosts, Andrea Jackson and Mitch English. Trending news and entertainment. This is Daily Flash.
Hi, I'm Mitch English.
And I'm Andrea Jackson. This is Daily Flash, your source for trending news and entertainment.
Matt, you just got out of getting married. Well, you just got into getting married.
Well, I just got into getting married. I'm not getting out. I'm not working on getting out, Mitch. Come on.
When I tell you this number, you're going to be, because I have a feeling, it was a wonderful wedding, by the way, but it will surprise you how much people are spending these days, the average amount of money people spend.
I can tell you over.
And so I'm going to tell you numbers, and then you don't have to say, but just think about these are the average. The average cost of popping the question in 2024 is $33,000 altogether. That's about the average. So think about that. It's going through your mind there, Matt.
Are we talking about the ring?
Okay, we're talking about everything. So
from will you to I do?
Yes, and then it's much more than that when you get divorced. Trust me.
I'm working on that.
The engagement ring is around $7,000.
No.
Is what
Okay.
this, okay.
No, Matt's saying no.
And this I never realized this, but wedding bands for both of you. I always thought the wedding band was supposed to be more expensive, but apparently I found this out when I got married a year ago that the engagement ring's what you're supposed to put all the cash on, right? So $7,000 for the engagement ring, and then for the wedding bands, the average cost is about $1,700. So you got like a cheap, ring that you're wearing all the time, and then the wedding band, the engagement ring you wear every once in a while.
Yeah.
See, I got lucky because the guy that actually made my rings made my parents, and he's a guy. He's John Allison Tony from New York.
Knew a guy.
Knew a guy.
Don't ask where the diamonds came from. So
Nope.
And then for the wedding gown, the lady spent about $1,500. And this is what I think is the most alarming out of all this. The way that they pay for it, credit cards.
Yeah.
And if you're going into a marriage in debt, man, I got to tell you, it's like you're just setting yourself up for that much more problems. So keep that in mind.
We just talked to one of our financial experts about women and how they're doing so much better with finances. I do find that a lot of women are second guessing spending that kind of money on weddings, because if you think about it, the average price for a wedding is between $30,000 and $40,000. Yeah. That's a substantial down payment 100%. On a home. Yeah. So wouldn't you rather maybe elope and then throw a nice party? I mean, that's a smarter money way to do it. Obviously, it doesn't have the same sentimental value.
Have the party, because that's where the gifts come.
Exactly.
Look, tell everybody that.
I wanted to go to Vegas.
Yeah.
My mom wanted to pick the Elvis. But Leah wanted the pretty party. So we had the pretty party.
You gotta have the pretty party.
Yeah, it was a great party. It was a great party, and yeah, you're about right in the numbers.
Was it a first wedding for her?
Yeah,
and
me.
And you,
No, my wedding was nowhere near that. But we spent all the money on the reception, though, because I wanted to have a party.
No, the Coors alone.
That's true.
Well, and Arizona City has approved a program that would allow homeless workers to sleep in their cars, and the decision is causing outrage from local homeowners. The Sedona City Council approved the Safe Place to Park program, which includes 40 designated parking spots for those employed full-time within the city limits. It also includes on-site bathrooms and showers. Critics say this new program will lead to pollution, drug use, other illicit activities, which could have negative impacts on the park and surrounding areas. City officials say the program just temporary and will conclude in 2026 when the funding runs out. The program comes after the city searched for a solution to deal with skyrocketing home prices. Supporters say the move will help those who would otherwise be forced to sleep in their cars. Affordable housing projects are also in the works.
And I want to disagree with as far as drug use goes, that this will bring in druggers. I don't understand if they're full-time employees and they're city workers who have to get drug tested every once. I don't think it's that. Pollution, I can buy into that because trash. But you know what? You make sure that you have somebody like, hey, I'm the king of the parking lot. I want to make sure everything's good. There's going to be a Karen that's living in a van, right? That's why they call it a caravan. Karen van. But okay, if you look at this too, what's the difference between this and a rest stop? I mean, people stop and you take a nap for 2-3 hours.
Buc-ee's, all those places you can stop off and take a shower.
So and then there's other places, and this place is going to have showers along with it. So I'd be worried about other things.
It's possible that residents are asking that same question, like, why don't you develop this at the rest stop? Why do you have to have it in the middle of our neighborhood?
That's probably what. Because it's Sedona.
Yeah, it's Sedona, exactly. Yeah. And I can see why they think that maybe the city workers might get moved out or crowded out by homeless people if that happens. That's a concern.
We have more Flash coming up. We're going to do some Life Love shopping right around the corner. Stick around. Hey, welcome back to Daily Flash. I'm Mitch English, along with the lovely and talented Andrea Jackson.
Oh, Mitch, thank you. I can sense the positive vibration and the one love that captures the hearts and minds of people across the world, like the legendary Bob Marley.
Where you want to start? From the beginning. Reggae is a people music. People coming together. Ooh, yeah. You know you're a superstar. All right. I'm a superstar. I wanna jam it with you.
Very cool, and thanks to the movie, people are still jamming, right? There's more to Bob Marley, of course. His story, as well as actor and music artist Davo is joining us to tell us all about it. Welcome to the show.
Hey, Davo,
Thanks for
welcome.
having me, guys.
So glad to have you, man. Thank you. This was a cool movie because I think a lot of people, they know Bob Marley, but do they know him?
Yeah.
And the movie had an opportunity to do that.
His history, like his upbringing and what his message was all about. People just know the music, mostly One Love, Let's Get Together, Feel Alright, but, there's a lot of message behind that,
His songs all had messages, 100%.
A lot of out of the Bible, biblical scriptures.
Indeed.
Talk about your connection to Bob Marley, because you
yeah.
have a special connection. You're not only in the movie, but you have a specific connection.
Yeah, so if I wasn't for Bob Marley, I probably wouldn't be here physically. He found my dad in London when he moved there, 1977, and he brought him back to Jamaica. He added him to the band, and he met my mom. My dad is the lead guitarist from the Wailers, Junior Marvin.
Wow.
So, being able to be a part of that legacy through the lineage of my dad is amazing. Just to be connected to the Marley family and Bob Marley and the Wailers. Yeah.
And your dad, did he share any of those stories with on the road or anything?
Bob actually introduced my dad to my mom.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. That's a cool story.
Yeah, like she was a dancer, and I guess she used to do like ballet and contemporary dances and stuff. And one day he was at one of her shows, and like after she performed, he was like, encore, encore. And he got up and he was like, wow, that was amazing, encore. So I guess after the show, he brought my dad backstage to meet my mom. And he was like, Junior Marvin, this is Debbie the Dancer Girl, And ever since then, she's stuck with the nickname. It's like her Facebook or Instagram name and stuff like that.
I love that.
Yeah, Deb's the Dancer.
How cool is that? Yeah. Tell us how you landed the role in the movie.
Oh, wow. Well, it was an Instagram post from a Jamaican casting agency called KBC Casting. And my sister seen it, and she sent it to me. And she was like, you gotta get this role. If there's anybody that deserves this role, it's you, because I play, I make music. I followed my father's footsteps as I'm playing the guitar, went on tour with him. Ever since I was a little kid, they would always say, I'm Junior. I'm literally his young twin. So,
gotcha.
It made sense for me to step up to the plate. And, I messaged them on Instagram, and they were like, well, you look just like him. We just need to see if you can act. So they sent me over a script. So I did like a video audition, sent it in, and they were like, wow. So they never asked me to play the guitar in audition, but I brought it out anyway. And they were like, wow, you can play the guitar. This is amazing. They were like, can you send in some more videos? Once I did that, they were like, whoa, can you come in? This is from here to here. I was
Check
like,
that one
of
off,
course.
right?
Yeah. We got to switch gears here quickly. Talk about your new single, On the Run.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Well, I just dropped a new single called On the Run. It's an R&B, hip-hop, psychedelic R&B is what I call it. It's a real vibey track, put you in the mood to have a good night, whatever. It's a very good song. Basically, ever since the movie's been out, I've been on the run, everywhere.
It makes sense.
Yeah, press runs and, doing a lot of meeting and
I love
reading.
that. David, thanks for stopping by here. And of course,
Thank
if
you
you want to
guys.
find out more information on
Congratulations.
David, we're going to have links on our website as well, and you can check out his music. Love having you here, man.
Thank you, guys.
One love.
Thank you.
One love, that's it.
Let's jump into Daily Flash Deals, where we share great finds at exclusive prices. To start shopping now, scan the QR code right there on your screen or visit dailyflash.com.
Lifestyle expert Elise Ivy joins us now with details of this week's great find, and this one's going to make better, not younger, but really a great product.
A fantastic product and an incredible brand, actually a clean beauty brand that's helping us bring our hair back to its old self, right?
Okay.
Better, stronger, more dense looking hair. As women, our hair actually really starts to change a lot once we get over 40. So whether that is because of hormones or just age in general, it is an inevitable change. This is an award-winning brand with an award-winning clean beauty formula to fortify our scalp. It's a super simple formula, very, very lightweight. I'm actually going to demonstrate right here. Okay. You're going to take this dropper and just part your hair, go ahead and apply directly to the scalp. Easy. Super easy to do. You can do this every single day, wet hair, dry hair, and then go ahead and massage that into the scalp. Now, this is a really nice configuration. It actually comes with a little tool that's going to help you massage this into the scalp. You can drop that serum right in here, and then you can massage with this little tool right here.
So it's touchless.
That's right, yeah.
It's going to stimulate the scalp.
Stimulate the scalp, that's right. And of course, fortifying that scalp, which is then, of course, helping your hair. Now, with this product, 90% of women actually saw visible signs of improvement after 8 weeks. So I'd love for you to take a look at these before and afters and see the difference.
Wow.
You're going to see difference after 1 week, after 4 weeks, and after 8 weeks.
These are, wow. Yeah. This is huge differences.
Absolutely incredible. Today, you're taking home this deal with a 62% discount.
Say that again.
62% off today.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, husbands, you need to get this for your wives. You're going to get a deal. Just you can tell them if you want to. You can get it off of course, Daily Flash deals. Great stuff.
That's right. And actually, they have other products in the brand as well. They have a brow serum and a lash serum. I'm actually wearing the tinted brow serum right now.
It looks incredible.
Thank you so much. I'm fortifying as we're talking.
Multitasking. I love it.
Thank you so much.
And it works, too, because there's so many of those, and this one seems like it's extremely effective.
It's been amazing.
I love this. All right, you want to take advantage of this deal, no problem. Scan the QR code. It's on your screen, or head to our website, dailyflash.com. Well, the kidney disease, also known as AMKD, may not be widely recognized. However, the American Kidney Fund is bringing attention to it and urging people to consider how their genes could impact their kidney health. Joining us now is LaVarn Burton. Let's talk about this. What is AMKD Awareness Day? Who really is most at risk?
This is really an important opportunity for us to make people, as you say, aware of the disease because it's fairly recently discovered. It also is an important opportunity for us to focus on the fact that where we came from, where our ancestors came from, can affect your kidney health. Now, AMKD is short for APOL1 mediated kidney disease. This disease is caused by gene variants. We all have genes called APOL1 genes. We've got 2 of them. And if you have variants in both of those genes, it puts you at very high risk for rapidly progressing kidney disease. So that's what this day is all about.
And what steps can be taken maybe to prevent kidney disease if that gene mutation is actually present?
Well, you always want to live as healthy a lifestyle as you can in terms of exercise, in terms of diet, in terms of minimizing alcohol, not using tobacco. All of those things put us at better risk of not developing kidney disease and not having it progress to kidney failure. In the case of AMKD, we need to keep in mind that the only way to know if you have the variants that causes it are really to get genetic testing. And so one of the things that you want to do, especially if you've got chronic kidney disease or it runs in your family, and it's not related to diabetes, one of the leading causes of kidney disease, then you want to talk to your healthcare professional, your doctor, as well as a geneticist.
Thank you so much. For more information, you can check out kidneyfund.org/APOL1aware.
If you're thinking about a career change, here's some great advice to keep in mind during your next job search.
AI is revolutionizing the future of hiring.
According to the Bureau of Labor, there are more than 8 million jobs looking to be filled. Now more than ever, hiring managers need a better way to find and source talent. Our new AI-powered tools like Smart Sourcing lets you quickly source an active talent pool of nearly 300 million workers. And our updated Indeed profile makes it easier for job seekers to find new opportunities and get contacted by potential employers.
Learn more at Indeed.com.
In underserved communities globally, about 20 hours per week is spent hand-washing clothes, and the burden falls mostly on women and girls. Together, the Washing Machine Project and the Whirlpool Foundation are hoping to change that with an initiative to deliver manual washing machines, saving time and improving lives. Here's more of what you should know.
More than half the global population rely on washing clothes by hand. The burden falls mostly on women and girls, which means spending up to 20 hours each week doing laundry instead of going to work or school. Here with more is founder and CEO of the Washing Machine Project, Navjot Sawhney.
The Washing Machine Project is being supported by Whirlpool Foundation to deliver manual washing machines to communities all around the world. This collaboration will help save time and create opportunities to work, study, and rest.
At the initiative's core is the Divya washing machine, the world's first flat, packable manual washing machine that allows users to wash their clothes without electricity or a connected water source. Here's Deb O'Connor, Managing Director at the Whirlpool Foundation.
The machine's simple design not only reduces time, but also the need for the backbreaking effort required to hand wash clothes. Together, we're expected to impact an estimated 150,000 people, addressing a significant barrier to their quality of life.
Learn more at thewashingmachineproject.org.
As the weather warms up, motorcycles become increasingly popular modes of transportation. Here to talk about Airbag Save, a national safety campaign aimed at raising awareness about innovative solutions in motorcycle safety and share tips for safer riding experiences, is Stevan Popovich, president at Cycle Gear. Thanks for joining us.
Motorcycle Safety Awareness Month upon us in the month of May. Cycle Gear is launching a national campaign called Airbag Saved, all around rider safety. We know there's inherent risk in loved ones. Upwards of 85% are concerned that their loved one, family, friend, or rider is out there on the road unprotected. The campaign is designed to bring to light a public awareness around airbag technology. You can see to my right, it's a wearable technology that the rider wears. It's not something that goes on the motorcycle. It reduces impacts up to 93%. There are different types of technology out there. There's tethered, which is a more manual technology, and there's a computer technology, which you see on my right here, that's constantly monitoring the rider 1,000 times a second, deploys in 23 milliseconds. We'd love for you to come on by. We have 165 locations throughout the country in 43 states, or you can go to cyclegear.com/airbags to see it in action. I think it's really exciting technology that we wanted to make the public aware of and the community of riders to be able to take advantage of.
Welcome back to Daily Flash. A hapless dreamer is also a would-be philosopher, and he spends his days looking after the pool of the Tahitian Tiki Apartments in sunny LA. This is today's must-watch movie, Pool Man.
Dear moviegoer, thanks for watching my trailer. I'm Darren Behrman. I'm a pool man. I love Los Angeles, and I'm fighting to make it a better place. These are my best friends, Jack Denisoff and Diane Esplanade.
This is my take on the Langers cream. A little bit of cinnamon.
It's brilliant. This is my girlfriend, Susan. And this is June Del Rey. She's uncovered corruption at city council and thinks I can help. She thinks I'd make a great detective. Whoa, like undercover?
Yes.
I'm not really trained. Can I get back to you? These are the bad guys. That's a lizard. And this is a tree that's trying to tell me something about my past. Anyway, these are some cool images set to awesome music. Hit it! Thank you for watching. Have an awesome aquatical day. Yours, XXDB.
I like Chris Pine.
I do too.
And it's neat to see. And cool, I didn't know he directed it and wrote this, so that's even cooler about all that. Danny DeVito, too.
You got Annette Bening and Jennifer Jason Leigh,
Yeah.
so you've got a pretty solid cast in that movie.
It took me a second when I saw Jennifer Jason Leigh. I was like, who is? I know that face,
Yeah.
but she was played down, obviously. So that was her character.
Did you see her in the last season of Fargo?
I have not. No, I've
Yeah.
not seen this Fargo one yet.
Yeah.
This season.
She's one of the main characters. She's fantastic.
I'm gonna have to binge it. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate you joining us, of course.
Yes, so for more information on anything you've seen on today's show, head to our website. Here's the deal, dailyflashshow.com. It's open, what, 24 hours?
Yes, I agree. Extended hours a little
Yes.
bit later on, and now 28% off. So everything. I don't even know what that
Open
means.
during holidays,
Open
too.
during holidays. Y'all take care. We'll see you when we look at you. Bye-bye.